Just because something is around for a long time doesn't mean that they're legitimate or that they're reputable. It means that they just haven't gotten caught yet. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it. My name is Anya Braun, and here on my channel we talk about Black businesses, artists, entertainment, and information. And today we are going to be talking about the warning signs of a scam, the red flags of a scam that you may not notice until it's too late. Dun dun dun. We don't want to see anyone, especially Black people, get scammed around here, so we're going to dive right into it. Before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We're almost at, or like gonna be at pretty soon, I guess, 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. We've got another try on haul coming, the Yeti try on haul. It should be arriving today. My Yeti package should be here today. Please let the Yeti lords be with us. Please, Lizzo, take over my spirit. That's what I say to myself every single day. Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram. I am at Anya Braun Beauty, ANJABRAUNBEAUTY. And I guess you can follow me on TikTok. I'm a little shorter version of that, AAB Beauty. So let's hop into it. We're going to start this off by reading a public statement by the FTC made by Deborah A. Valentine, former counsel, on May 13th, 1998 in Washington, D.C. Now, one, thank you, Deborah. You laid the house down boots with this article. Two, I would like to say, yes, you can find plenty of other resources on the FTC website, plenty of more updated ones, but I wanted to pick this one in particular. One, because she does such a good job, and two, because you can see how long-standing and systemic this issue of pyramid schemes, MLMs operating as pyramid schemes, people getting scammed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the oldest trick in the book, and I wanted to really show how we're 20-something years down the line, and yet we still have to, these same warning signs and these definitions still hold true, and the way that these modern companies, Monet, Herbalife, TLC, Total Life Changes, Mary Kay, Amway, all of these things, I mean, Amway is like the oldest one, but all of these different MLMs that are operating as pyramid schemes match the criteria of a public statement made by the Federal Trade Commission to warn the public consumer of these scams for the last 20 years. This is not new. Also, this will be linked below, Avi. What is a pyramid scheme and what is legitimate marketing? Let's ask ourselves. Pyramid schemes now come in so many different forms that they may be difficult to recognize immediately. However, they all share one overriding characteristic. They promise consumers or investors large profits based primarily on recruiting others to join their program, not based on profits from any real investment or real sale of goods to the public. We can end this video right here, okay? We can end it right here because that statement really sums up everything. Does it not? Does it not? When we say things like things are pyramid schemes because of the dependency on recruitment, because of the encouragement of recruitment, because in order to actually make a significant income, you got to recruit if you want to make money. And that's what makes it a pyramid scheme. It's not about the products. I had someone comment and say, well, it's not a pyramid scheme because the products work and, you know, they've been around for a long time. One, just because something is around for a long time doesn't mean that they're legitimate or that they're reputable. It means that they just haven't gotten caught yet. Two, it doesn't really matter whether or not the products work. That's why you see so many shifty products, because it's not about the products, it's about the recruitment. That is what makes the pyramid scheme a pyramid scheme. Some schemes may purport to sell a product, but they often simply use the product to hide their pyramid structure. All of the MLMs I just named. You've got 24 hours to respond. There are two telltale signs that a product is simply being used to disguise a pyramid scheme: inventory loading and lack of retail sales. Now, retail sales, I don't know if she's going to say it right now. I don't know. But retail sales means you're selling to someone who has no affiliations to your company. That's a retail sale. Selling to a general old consumer, Joe Schmo off the street. That's how, I don't know, a business works. Not by selling to the people who are hired to recruit for you every single month. Inventory loading occurs when a company's incentives program forces recruits to buy more products than they could ever sell, often at inflated prices. We saw, if you watch the Lula Rich documentary, you can see that right there. The inflated prices exist so that they can have the payouts for each person in the pyramid that has to get paid by that one retail sale. If this occurs throughout the company's distribution system, the people at the top of the pyramid reap substantial profits, even though little or no product moves to market. The people at the bottom make excessive payments for inventory that simply accumulates in their basements. A lack of retail sales is also a red flag that a pyramid exists. Many pyramid schemes will claim that their product is selling like hotcakes. However, on closer examination, the sales occur only between people inside the pyramid structure or to new recruits joining the structure, not to consumers out in the general public. Eat 'em up, girl. Eat 'em up. She slayed this. She slayed this. This is this entire channel right here. This right here is what, this is it. This is the golden nugget. I'm going to skip this paragraph about the Ponzi scheme. If you'd like to read it, it'll be down below. But this says both Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes are quite seductive because they may be able to deliver a high rate of return to a few early investors for a short period of time, aka the people at the beginning. Yet, both pyramid and Ponzi schemes are illegal because they inevitably must fall apart. No program can recruit new members forever. Every pyramid or Ponzi scheme collapses because it cannot expand beyond the size of the Earth's population. When the scheme collapses, most investors find themselves at the bottom, unable to recoup their losses, aka they lost their money. Now, in this next paragraph, I'll read what it says and then I'll kind of explain it. It says, some people confuse pyramid and Ponzi schemes with legitimate multi-level marketing. Legitimate, i.e. in this case, multi-level marketing operating as a pyramid scheme. Multi-level marketing programs are known as MLMs, and unlike pyramid or Ponzi schemes, MLMs have a real product to sell. However, if we remember in the earlier discussion about pyramid schemes, it's not about whether or not you have a product or not, whether or not the product works. It's about the dependency on recruitment. More importantly, MLMs actually sell their product to members of the general public without requiring these consumers to pay anything extra or to join the MLM system. Keep that in mind. MLMs may pay commissions to a long string of distributors, but these commissions are paid for real retail sales, not for new recruits. Notice how that is a problem. Notice how they say, may pay commissions to a long string of distributors, but these commissions are paid for real retail sales, not for new recruits. However, as we've seen in many multi-level marketing companies operating as pyramid schemes, you do get paid for new recruits, and even if you don't, there's a dependency on recruitment in order to hit the certain ranks that allow you to qualify for commissions. So in order to even get paid, you have to hit a certain rank. You gotta have a certain number of people under your team, and there are bonuses, incentives, dependencies on recruitment to reach these certain ranks, which require you to have a team of people underneath you. So by saying they're paid for retail sales, that becomes sticky with the real world examples that we're dealing with that don't necessarily come from retail sales. They come from the people underneath you buying their products. Because if the company depended on retail sales alone, then they would just sell to the public, the prices would not be inflated, and there would not be a dependency on recruitment, which would categorize it as a pyramid scheme. So now I'm gonna go over the 10 red flags that I personally just wrote. This is just my opinion here, but ones that I've seen, examples that I've seen on Instagram, on Reels. Reels is the worst. Oh my God. TikTok. All the other ones. I don't be on Facebook. I can't even imagine the cesspools of shampoo, wellness. Do you want a weight loss tea? Do you want a weight loss supplement? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to fatty, or do you want to be fat? You want to be fat? That's literally how I just hear them speaking in my mind. Like the Beachbody people, don't get me started. You're terrifying. You're scaring me. Red flag number 1. If you have to pay to work. Now, I know people love to say things like, oh, well, when I worked at McDonald's, I had to pay for my uniform. Or when I had to do this, if I want to start doing this, then I gotta pay for this and that and the other thing. There is literally no reason why you would have to pay to work, especially when you would have to continue paying to work every single month if you don't have the required amount of volume underneath you. Don't pay to work. As a general rule, don't pay to work. That is not a requirement. Even if you're like at a place and they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to buy this uniform. Or someone was like, oh, well, when I was a waitress, I had to buy my own Skechers shape-ups because that's the only shoes they allowed. Then go to a restaurant that doesn't. Girl, it is not like that. You do not have to pay to work. You're like, please let me sell your products. Please, I'll pay you. I'll just go into debt just to sell your products. That's what I want to do. Don't do it. As a general rule of thumb, do not pay to work. Don't pay to work. Even if, like, I understand that you will most likely have to invest in certain things in yourself that you want to do in order to further your career or just your hobbies or anything that you want to do. You pay for education, things like that. But not to work. You don't pay McDonald's in order to work at McDonald's. And of course, some people have to, like, for example, like pay for transportation to get to their job. Okay, that's fair enough. But you don't have to pay your company in order to work for your company. That's weird. Number 2, second red flag that we see on Instagram, specifically in the long ass Reels caption. First of all, long ass Reels caption is a red flag for me, straight off the bat. But in addition to that, people who have a great opportunity for you and they do not share the name of the company, like literally anywhere. It's not, they're talking about, oh my God, I love this company. I've got this opportunity. It's going to be so good, making so much money. But they say things like, DM me for more info. Send me money alert for more info. DM me cash $$ for more info. Girl, no. If you can't say the name of your company because it has such a bad reputation for being a literal operating as a pyramid scheme, maybe let's not join. So when you see these people who are like, I made $10,000 in one day, here's how you can do it too. DM me cash for more info. It's like, whoa, first of all, if you had a real gem to drop, you would have just dropped it. What is the like secrecy? It's the privacy. It's the, level of isolation. Get them in a private room where you can speak to them one-on-one, where you can sort of manipulate the conversation to go in a way that will get them to join your team. You will get money from them joining your team, or from their, from their eventual them buying products, et cetera, et cetera. Number 3, having a team or downline, you may hear it called, as a requirement to get paid. Like I said before, if you cannot make a sustainable living income, because that's what they're selling you on a great return on your investment. So if you can't even get a return on your investment without recruiting people, just by selling products, retail sales to the general public, then you are likely in a multi-level marketing company operating as a pyramid scheme that is shifty as fuck. Number 4, incentives for recruiting. This means that you get paid more to recruit than you do to have retail sales. Pretty simple. So if you join the business, which don't, but if you join one of these businesses, if you join forex, if you join iamccsuarez tomorrow, if you join iGenius tomorrow, then when they say, oh, okay, if you want to actually make good money, then you just need to start a team. That's all you got to do. That's all. You just got to start a team of thousands of people, and then you'll be, doing fine. Just start a team. But that's not what they tell you before you join. That's not what they sell you on. They sell you on, oh yeah, you can sell the products. However, that becomes not the case. The bait and switch manipulation technique in order to scam people, highly prevalent in MLMs, and a telltale sign of a classic scam. Number 5, if most of the customers are a part of the company. Is that not, once again, just MLMs in general? So if you don't ever hear anyone talking about, for example, or when was the last time that you heard a non-affiliated person talk about the product that the affiliated person is trying to sell you on, buying and joining their company? That's a good question to ask yourself. When was the last time that you heard a non-affiliated person rave about the product that you are being sold on? The company you're being sold on. And not to say that it doesn't happen. There are plenty of people who like MLM products, even though, in my opinion, they're no different than any other product. You can most certainly find any other MLM product in a non-MLM company that doesn't support a scammy business practice that targets minorities, women, people with disabilities, people who are desperate, in poverty, and lacking education. But if that's what you're willing to support for your favorite lip gloss, then I guess go off queen. Anyway, you will find that a lot of the times, the people who are the customers are also people who are involved in the company, meaning that it behooves them to sell to you, to get you to join their team. Additionally, the big bucks come from joining their team, where you will be required to purchase a certain amount of products every month or sell a certain amount of products every month to people who you want to join your team. Notice how the chain goes on when they said you can't, I don't know, exceed the amount of people on the earth. Right, that's where that comes in. Number 6, there's lots of generalized inspiration, personal development. If you haven't already watched my video on the amway, deep dive, the documentary that they like tried to get banned because it's so exposing of them. It's from like Poland in like 1998. You should definitely watch it. I'll have it linked here. But ever since then, and this is like I said, long-standing, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, long ass time of an incorporation of personal development in the MLM culture, which is very interesting. It's kind of like accelerated self-help, but give me all your money vibes. So if they're doing one of those things where they are, I don't know, saying a lot of really inspirational, motivational things, but there's no actual like content behind it. There's no like specifics as to how you should do these things. There's no actual direction for these things. That is one of the big red flags for me. If you've seen in my WFAB iGenius video, I did do a little bit of a, not like a deep dive, but like a tiny deep dive. I know Isabella just posted a video about, I think her name is Lily, at the top of iGenius, and saying a lot of really motivational type things that in theory you would be able to apply to your life in a positive way, in a non-MLM related way, because of the fact that 99 or 98% of people involved in MLMs make no money or lose money. It's just generally not a good investment. Any person who has ever done any sort of investing or any level of like business mind would be able to tell you that it's just generally not a good idea. You'd probably have a much better chance of winning the lottery, for example, becoming an astronaut, getting stung by a bee. But the personal development is another manipulation tactic because of the cult-like behavior. They need to keep people in, they need to keep people brainwashed essentially into believing that this MLM is the only way, the only avenue for people to get this level of inspiration, this level of personal motivation to keep going, to have a disciplined and community of people who also want the same thing, where it just kind of soils that entire idea because it's attached to an MLM where they're almost guaranteed to lose money. Number 7, if they are posting a luxurious lifestyle with the promise that you can too if you sign up with them, but they never say how. They never actually say, oh, well, you're just going to need to recruit every single person you know, and then that's how you'll make money. Because that would just immediately out them. People would not want to do that. So they rope you in with, oh, don't you want to be financially free? Don't you want to have time freedom? If I hear the word time freedom one more time, what is time freedom? What is time freedom in a company where you work all the time to get paid nothing? Okay. And I don't want to hear the like, oh, well, I do get paid. I get paid 3 cents actually. I get paid 3 cents 17 days a week because my company pays me 16 times a day. It doesn't matter if you don't make any money. It doesn't matter if you're not making enough to live. It doesn't matter if you're not making enough to actually support yourself. It doesn't matter if you are not making what they promised you. That is the issue. That is the scam. False promises, scam. Number 8, if you see someone putting down normie jobs, 9 to 5s, people who are nurses, people who are teachers, people who are whatever. Oh, don't you hate your job? You know, they try and like give a little trauma bond moment. They're like, don't you hate your job? Don't you just hate working for the man? Which, by the way, I could totally, relate to. I mean, I work for myself. Here I am on YouTube doing this. Haha, you should follow me on TikTok. I do that as well. But I do that because it's a personal choice for me and that's something that I like to do and I have the ability to do it. Not because I am shitting on people who have 9 to 5 jobs. Plenty of people have 9 to 5 jobs that like just get them through. They're like, all right, fine. They don't really want to like do that much stuff. Like being an entrepreneur is not like the only way to live. We need people who are dentists. We need people who work at the grocery store. We need like waitresses and like all of that stuff. We need those people. So I don't understand the sense in like putting those people down and like thinking that you're better than them or you're smarter than them for joining a company with like an almost 100% failure rate. Like, it just doesn't even make any sense. Number 9, using the phrases boss babe, social selling, direct sales, social retail. And in reference to number 2, not saying what it is, an MLM. Because of channels like Cece, like Isabella, like I'd like to think myself, there's a lot more information about MLMs, the dangers of MLMs, what they actually are, how deep the corruption is, especially with their political affiliations, and in general, just the bad reputation that MLM companies have for being, I don't know, scams, taking people's money, not being cool, people getting burned by them, people having terrible experiences, people being manipulated, shunned, all kinds of just terrible things that are not okay for your job. Like, can we just talk about how this is a job? Like, this is just a job, okay? This is just a job. I think it is perfectly healthy for you to have a strong boundary between you and your work because it should not consume your entire life. However, we do see the opposite happen very often in MLM companies, especially because of the cult-like behavior, the like false sense of community that they create while people are making money for you. And then when you're not making money for them, or, you know, when you're making money for them, then when you're not, or when you decide to leave, or when you decide to have anything, even if it's constructive to say about your company, that is immediately seen as poor feedback. If you've seen the video with Chelsea and Angelique from Monat, when she was like, oh, I really love the company, but there's things that I would like to change that are not going so hot. And they immediately just terminated her and told her to go kick rocks. Yeah, that's a prime example of it's not normal, it's not healthy, it's not okay for you to not be able to give constructive feedback to your company or to any job without being shunned from the community and fired from that job. Woo! Okay, that is it. I had 9. It should have been 10, but like I wrote down 10 and then I wrote 9. So I was like, all right, period. Well, that is all that I have for you today. Please, please, please do not get scammed. You literally don't need it. If you think that an MLM is the only place where you can find a sisterhood, a community, friends, it's not. If you think that an MLM is the only place where you can make money from home, working from your phone, it's not. If you think that an MLM is the only way or the answer to your problems, your life's problems, because it's selling you this dream, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And with that being said, let's just end it right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, send this video to someone that you know, prevent them from getting scammed. Keep your eyes out, especially if you are a Black woman, if you are a minority, they heavily, heavily target these communities. And that is why we are here spreading this information. By we, I do mean me. But we're here together, you know? We're like, Anyway, that's it. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any additional red flags you'd like to offer. I can always do a part 2. Like the video, give it a big thumbs up. I feel like, I don't know, that's like a thing people say. And yeah, subscribe. That's all I got. Have a great day. Have a great life. Do what it is that you do. And follow me for more. Bye.